Mga higala, kumusta? Maayong gabi. Yan ang puta niya ito ang tulumanon panglantaw sa kagabihion. Maghisgot ta karon bahin ato ang atong teacher nga murag ning panaw taliwala sa class observation nga gihimo dito sa ilang eskwelahan dito sa Muntinlupa, no? Pero sa dili pa nato sugdan ang ato ang panaghisgot mga igsoon, ato sang i-shout out ang ato ang mga likers, mga nag-like sa ato ang panglantaw sa kagabi. Si Mr. Johnny Di Samonti, Lilian Martinez Tubigon, si Pastor Yung Monleon Kigangay Jr., ug si Marilo Tubigon sa lubod. Daghang kaayong salamat sa inyong pagpaminaw, pagtanaw, pagsupport ani ato ang programa panglantaw sa kagabihion. Tonight, or sa makausap pa, good evening my fellow educators, parents and members of our community. Tonight, I do not speak to accuse. I do not speak to inflame anger. And I do not speak to point fingers recklessly. Tonight, I speak as a school principal, as a fellow teacher, and most importantly, as a human being who understands that behind every lesson plan, every report, and every evaluation form, there is a person with limits, emotions, and dignity. The passing of Teacher Agnes Buenaflor is not just a headline. It is not just another trending topic on social media. It is a painful reminder that somewhere in our education system, something is hurting deeply, and we cannot afford to ignore that pain. Let me be clear and fair. The Department of Education exists to uphold standards, ensure accountability, and improve learning outcomes. Structure is necessary. Evaluation has its place. Documentation serves a purpose. These are realities we must acknowledge. But we must also be honest enough to ask this difficult question. At what point does structure become strain? At what point does accountability turn into pressure? At what point does discipline quietly transform into distress? As school leaders and policymakers, we must have the humility to reflect. Daghan kayo sa atong mga magtutudlo karon ang nagapaningkamo. They teach, they mentor, they guide, they counsel, they comfort. They carry not only lesson plans, but also the emotional burdens of learners, parents, and communities. And yet, many of them go home exhausted, anxious, and silently overwhelmed. This is not a condemnation of the system. This is a call to listen to the people within it. The Bible reminds us in Proverbs chapter 27 verse 23, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Leadership is not only about policies, it is about awareness. It is about knowing when those under our care are no longer just tired, but breaking. We must recognize that excessive paperwork, overlapping evaluations, and constantly shifting requirements, while well-intentioned, can accumulate into something heavy. Not heavy for one day, but heavy over time. And when weight is carried too long, even the strongest shoulders begin to ache. That is why I respectfully suggest that we begin conversations, not confrontations, about reform. First, let us review evaluation systems, not to remove accountability, but to simplify processes where possible. Quality should matter more than quantity. Reflection should matter more than repetition. Second, let us reduce redundant paperwork. If information has already been submitted once, we must ask whether it truly needs to be submitted again. Time spent duplicating reports is time taken away from lesson preparation and meaningful teaching. Third, mental healthy support must be strengthened, not as an optional program, but as a regular, accessible, and stigma-free part of teacher welfare. Teachers should not be afraid to say, "I am not okay," without fear of judgment or professional consequences. Fourth, let us promote a culture of respect from top to bottom. Respect in communication, respect in deadlines, respect in implementation, respect for the fact that teachers are professionals, not machines. The Bible says in Colossians chapter 3 verse 23, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart." But working with all our heart does not mean working until the heart is broken. To our colleagues in DepEd, I say this with respect. Many of you are also teachers at heart. You understand the classroom. You understand the pressure. This is not an attack. It is an invitation to work together toward improvement. To the public, let us also be responsible. Let us not weaponize this tragedy for politics or division. Let us not reduce a life to a slogan. Let us seek solutions, not sensationalism. And to my fellow teachers, your work matters. Your life matters. Your dignity matters. You are not defined by the number of forms you submit, but by the lives you shape every day. As a school principal, I commit to doing my part, listening more closely, supporting more intentionally, and advocating responsibly. Because honoring teacher Agnes Buena Flor does not mean shouting louder. It means building a system that heals instead of harms. It means choosing compassion alongside competence. It means ensuring that no teacher feels alone in their struggle. Let this moment not end in anger alone, but in meaningful reform. Let us turn grief into guidance, pain into purpose, and loss into lasting change. Kini ang panglantaw sa kagabhion din ang kahayag na gadanang, bisan pa sa kangit-ngit. Kini inyong igsoon, higala o galagad Jeremias Labaho Tubigon, sa makausap pa mo ingon, nga sa atong pagpangandoy o matarong na katilingban, ang kamatuoran gayud ang atong suga. Ug sa kangit-ngit sa kasaysayan, ang tinud-anay na pamunuan, ang labing hayag na paglaom. Daghang salamat ug hinaot nga magpadayon kita sa pagpaningkamot. Not against one another, but for the well-being of every teacher, every learner, and the future of our education system. Maayong gabi ug ang Dios magapanalangin kanatong tanan. Daghang salamat.